What's up and welcome back? I'm John Stark, MegaMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And what's that? What is that here? What is that here? Is it Not Spetnya Marabitsaba? This is Lion King, live at the Hollywood Bowl. I review things like this too. This is the difference between me and other critics. Other critics are like, "Oh, I can't put anything on my channel because Captain America hasn't come out. Then I gotta jump to the next tentpole movie because people won't watch a review of Lion King live at the Hollywood Bowl. And you're probably right. Probably gonna get about 10 views. I don't know. Sometimes if I put things out and I look at the view count, I'm like, that's got 3 views. I don't care. I reviewed it. It's still out there. It doesn't change the fact that this content exists, and doesn't change the fact that this content exists on Disney Plus with audio description, and that's really important. This has audio description. It's also the weirdest at the Hollywood Bowl that I've seen ever, because it's not really at the Hollywood Bowl, like in the way that you would go watch something at the Hollywood Bowl. It's interspersed with a lot of like history of the Lion King, a lot of interviews with like Elton John and people who were previously involved in the movie. Although not the right people. There were people I was like, okay, that's cool, but then where's the other one? Um, like they didn't bother to get Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who I feel like would have showed up for this. So they got the voice of Simba who sings, but they didn't get Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who was the speaking voice for Simba. Um, I know why James Earl Jones isn't here. I'm not stupid. But it was great because Jeremy Irons shows up and he actually performs Be Prepared live. I think if you know the story of Lion King, I think I mentioned this in my, because I did, last year was the 30th anniversary of Lion King. So I did a review of the animated classic, which I love. Desert Island movie, absolutely. I've seen Lion King so many times. Um, and in Be Prepared, Jeremy Irons, when he was recording the song, kind of blew out his voice because he does a like, "You won't get a sniff without me," like he does that. So there was a point in the song where they needed to record it, and Jeremy Irons' voice was shot. And so what actually ends up in the recording of Be Prepared is there's a little bit of voice actor Jim Cummings doing uh his imitation of Scar, of Jeremy Irons doing Scar. That's sort of spliced in there. It's mostly Jeremy Irons, but there's a little bit where they needed to go back through because Jeremy Irons blew out his voice. So here I was like, is he going to do this whole thing live from beginning to end? Because I don't think I've ever actually heard Jeremy Irons do this whole thing by himself without the knowledge of the little bit of not Jeremy Irons, but sounds like Jeremy Irons. So yeah, he performed Be Prepared, and he tempered it a little bit. He's a little bit older, up there in age, but it was still great. It was still a great moment. Hearing Jennifer Hudson absolutely slay Circle of Life, and they go into this like they spend more time talking about Jennifer Hudson than really anything else. She wasn't in the original Lion King. Is she in the? I don't know. Is she in the movie? Was she in the live action Lion King? That's not live action. The John Favreau's Lion King. Um, I don't know, but they go into her because on American Idol, she was on American Idol. She got to sing Circle of Life, so everything sort of came full circle. Elton John was there. Of course, it was the night she went home, and it was like Elton John was so upset, and I remember because it was the night when the bottom three was the three black ladies. It's like Fantasia, Latoya, and Jennifer Hudson, and people were just like, what is happening?" And yeah, Jennifer Hudson. But turned out she ended up killing the game. She's all over the place now. She's an EGOT. So which they made sure to point out. This is more like a Jennifer Hudson concert than a Lion King movie, because they bring her out and they're like, EGOT winner Jennifer Hudson. um, Nathan Lane, and um, Ernie, uh, what's his name? Sabelle. And the original Pumbaa, Ernie something. They both do a little thing, but I think Nathan Lane actually shows up and then like does more talking, and Billy Eichner shows up to do Timon as something, because I guess he's also Timon in uh, Mufasa, and they do a song for Mufasa. They also did "He Lives in You." I was expecting maybe a little bit more from the Broadway musical, um, kicked in there, so that way we're doing like all of Lion King and not just like Shadowlands is a great song to do. Um, but they kind of covered all the ones from the movie, and then we have the most, and I'm not here. Uh, I have to tread. I'm treading this really carefully here. I'm walking. There's a very thin line between making fun of a child performer and bringing attention to what we just saw. So we saw an actual Nepo baby. We saw somebody who wasn't ready to be where they are, but was there because of who they are on stage. And um, because if we're being really honest and not mean, she's not ready. Like her voice is not there. That was not a strong vocal performance. And that was her big debut. And it wasn't great. And somebody had to have heard that and thought to themselves, we're still putting this on the Hollywood Bowl. And they put her there, Northwest, on stage, not great. And everybody was okay with that. They were like, oh, she's a cute kid. She's popular. People love the Kardashians. People love Kanye. I don't. But I'm sure one person does. So I'm sure that was the thought. And I'm like, aren't there other kids, like famous kids, that you could have brought on a stage for that? Was she really the best option? Because the argument is maybe that she's not quite ready. Like that is forever going to be out there for her. And for anybody, if she's trying to get into other projects, it's like, well, now we know singing is not in her bag. It's not in her bag of tricks. Um, you know, it's it's unfortunate. I mean, she's grown up her entire life on camera, so she's 10 now, which is amazing. And I don't want to take anything away from her because there's nothing she did wrong. Um, it's just the choice that was made to put just somebody who was famous in that role instead of, you know, a singer, instead of, I don't know, like, make better choices, or cast a wider net, and be like, well, who are the people? I don't want to just immediately jump to Blue Ivy because I don't know what Blue Ivy sounds like as a soloist doing. He just can't wait to be king. I just can't wait to be king. But I feel like there definitely is a child star out there who can kill it. I feel like that's got to be true. There's got to be somebody out there that was a big enough name and would have slayed that. And they just didn't look hard enough. And they went with an easy, you know, isn't this cool? I guess. Now I know what that's like. But I mean, she's the same night. I mean, the other vocalists that came out on stage were fucking ripping it, or they were the original performers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard to listen to Jennifer Hudson sing Circle of Life, and then they're like, and coming up next, Northwest. It's like, man, so I, it's not even a gender thing for me. Like, I get it, fine. Like, sometimes, you need girls to play boys because boys hit puberty. So a girl can voice a boy longer. I don't know if you know this or not, but Bart Simpson, for example, has been voiced by a female voice talent the whole time. So I'm, I'm not saying it had to be a boy, um, either, to get that young sound out. But yeah, I've heard people who are like, "What?" Yeah, so was Chucky, by the way, on Rugrats. So I know I'm just blowing your mind right now with that. Yeah, so I liked it. I actually enjoyed the backstage stuff a little bit more. The performances were nice, but I kind of was like, "That's it." Like, what else? If I was at the Hollywood Bowl, what did I get? Because I felt like as a home audience, we got a lot of like making of type stuff. It felt like a featurette for a DVD. You know what I'm saying? That's what this felt like bonus footage, for the DVD. But um, I guess check it out. It's on Disney Plus if you want. There's audio description. Audio description's fine. It points out there are like dancers when there's dancers and people when they're on stage, and let's get some choreo in there, and it's mostly just to like let you know who people are. Um, Not a whole lot happens. It's pretty neutral, easy performance to get through. So I enjoyed it. Um, how do I grade this? I don't even know what to. I don't even conceptually understand like how to compare it to anything else because it's not the full show. So like, it's like I can't compare it to any other like it's not like Lion King Live, like it aired on ABC and they did the whole musical. They didn't do the whole musical. There's no dialogue. Like they skipped over giant scenes. They just sang a couple songs and they talked about how great it was to be a part of the Lion King legacy and they left. I'm grading a special feature on a DVD essentially, and I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to. But I'm just gonna tell you I liked it because in order for me to grade things, it's sort of like when I reviewed a stand-up comedy special. It was mainly just to get into and talk about the audio description for it. And then when I had to grade it, I was like, I've never graded a stand-up comedy special. I don't even know where to begin. I don't watch enough of these to put, you know, to think of like, well, okay, so what is an A? What am I looking for in A quality? What am I looking for in F quality? So if I saw more things like this, I haven't even seen other things like this. I have no point of reference. This is just bonus features. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.